What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, discussing all things games, talking that gaming shit. Here with all my compadres for the show today. Excited. Got Arturo with me. What's going on, man? I saw that Modelo.
Yeah, I was wondering if those two things were related. I'm like, oh, he's rocking his little Spanish. I wonder because I'm rocking Modelo. I respect
I was thinking about my restaurant, Los Compadres, I used to go to. So good, really good.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
Good old Long Beach. And also got Church with me in the building, ready to give us our Friday service. What's going on, man?
What's up? I'm ready to give my testimony. If y'all ready for the summit of live service games, I got you. But good to be back, guys.
Yo, sermons with that red cup drink sounds a-okay. Is it jungle juice? Is it cranberry juice? You'll never fucking know.
This is not an offering. Yeah, this is not an offering plate. I am drinking some shit. Right on.
Jesus, I don't know. It's blood of fermentation. Fucking
Here's my body. Here's my blood. My blood will get you drunk. So, if you are watching this, hello, be sure to like and subscribe, or subscribe firstly on the YouTube channel for Gamers for Life at G4L Podcast. If you have been curious about the show, checking out some stuff, checking out Arthur's awesome streams on the channel, that is where you want to subscribe, so you can be sure to watch more of that stuff, watch more of the show, the video episodes. The more you subscribe, the more I'm motivated to upload the fucking episodes on the channel at G4L Podcast. And then if you're more of an audio watcher or audio listener on the application of your choice, we will be there as well. Definitely for every episode. And everything else, linktree.com/Gamers for Life, the number 4 life. Here at the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news while you can watch or listen to what you choose by clicking on the links to the time code within the description of the episode, so you know what's going on. Or you can just or you can go to what you want, or you can just hang out with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast. Couple of topics today, but first we're going to start it with Church giving us an update on a live service game that was talked about quite some time during last year and all that stuff, and some updates on it, if you will. Overwatch 2, Church, the
totally not dead game.
Yeah. So last year when I talked about Overwatch, we just got the news of like the lies of the PvE campaign not being true. They canceled that completely. They shipped 3 missions of, like, you know, I wouldn't say it was broken missions, but you can tell, like, hey, we can sell this, you know, for $15. You guys can buy it. So I was completely off the game for a good 6 to 8 months, and my brother hit me up and he's like, hey, let's play a few matches during like Halloween. And I've just kind of been back in the game, playing it, you know, maybe every other week, you know, doing some seasonal content. And then finally, the season 9, they made major changes to the game, which I think it's worth discussions and just the plan for Overwatch going forward. And it's weird because I was so against this game, but I think they are preparing to have a comeback with some of the changes that are going on with it. Now, for those who've been out of the pictures of Overwatch, Arthur, to your surprise, support has been broken. It was the most powerful role for like 8 months in the entire game. You could not die. Mercies were over there leading the charge in front of the line. It was just a lot of fun. So in season 9, they had a complete meta change, and they actually are calling it like Overwatch 3.0 technically. And what this does is they increased the health pools for a lot of enemies, gave DPS a damage buff, meaning if you hit a target for 2 seconds, they have 20% heal reduction. So the gameplay is faster. The time to kill for enemies is not the same. So the meta that's been established since Overwatch 1 had just drastically shifted, right? And it makes the gameplay completely different. So this is a good shakeup. Like, hey, they're updating the game, trying to keep it fresh. They redid the competitive system in the game where everybody loves it. You now know why you're going up in the ranks and losing with great detail of like, this is the reason you lost because you on a you're on a losing streak, and you were favored to win this match because you're playing with your friends. So these are all well received, and I thought that was discussion in itself. Like, hey, this game is maybe going the right path. And then they had a developer update where they had a different change in terms of the monetization. They're making the skins cheaper in the shop. The big feedback they had in the entire series was that the new characters are locked behind the battle passes. Like, you would have to pay the battle passes, pay for the battle pass to get the new character, or grind out the free tier until you get to 40. Now, all new characters are free, including the old ones. So when you come back in season 10, you will have a whole new rosters of characters that's available for everybody to pay. The battle passes now have currency. It's been updated to what Fortnite does now, where you can own like 600 coins. And then on top of that, they're adding in these special tier mythic skins to the shop. Well, you can grind the free tier or the premium to get this, I don't know, other currency, but you can now require skins from past seasons you make, the past seasons that you've missed. And the season's battle pass are there for you to own completely. It never goes away. So these are like all positive live service games that seem to be more generous towards the consumer so far. They're reworking a bunch of maps in terms of updates. They are giving you a trial to play the new character ahead of the season so they can fix it in terms of game balance. As well, there's introducing like new game modes throughout the year. So there's another game mode that's coming like maybe in June, but you get a free trial of that coming in season 10, which starts in April. So the players can play it for free, give the feedback, and they can really release it. I think the community at Overwatch right now, even though they had some layoffs, the game is drastically doing a shift. Like, it's just only been a year, right? It's like it was released in October 22. It's been a year and 4 months, but like they've decided to go back all the way around, to, I would say, back to some of the things you expected in the original Overwatch, to like, hey, now we're just really focusing on PvP, and we're going to constantly give you updates to it as well. And I think that's great. I mean, I think, we've had games like Helldivers that done monetization well, and it really doesn't really feel like you have to pay for anything in Helldivers, and it's insanely cheap. But it's good to see like a Blizzard game going backwards, listen to the actual feedback of the community and implementing the changes, and then changing the strategy when it comes to monetization, giving you new updates. And I mean, I play Apex, I dabble in Fortnite. I just haven't seen a game. They release a lot of content a lot quicker than other live service games. I think like there's a bunch of new characters each season. I'm not every other season. There's new maps. When you add it all up, it's like a drastic change. So I think it's something to keep an eye on. And then overall, like the game is just fun, right? It's Overwatch. I think we all like the gameplay of Overwatch. You may have your opinion on the 5v5 versus 6v6, but I think what kind of took, I mean, I think what turned us off for Overwatch was the communication. There's this blatant lying, the direction of the monetization, the play to win aspect of the heroes behind the battle pass. They were removing that, and the lack of a competitive scene. I think they're changing it, and I think this is good news. And I wouldn't say they should be celebrated just yet, but if all these things are coming next season, I'm like, I think it's gonna, if they could keep knocking them out of the park, I think it could be a problem. It might return to full formal glory, to be honest with you. And then like the bragging, they have 100 million current players in the game, bro. That number seems weird. Like, right? 100 million? Like
that seems almost impossible, or like bots. But I mean, because even Helldivers 2 was like peaking like 400,000.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen like Twitch numbers or what Helldive was doing on Steam, but like there must be like Blizzard accounts. They're playing with the numbers though a little bit. I don't know if I believe that wholeheartedly.
It's like, oh, is someone logged into a BlizzNet account on the back of their computer? Oh, they're playing Overwatch. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because the other thing with the Helldivers, because at the Helldivers, even if you don't have to like Google the player count, it tells you how many players are like on each system. So usually 200,000 to 400,000 is the update. Oh, sorry, the number displayed. And I don't think Overwatch 2 will ever go to back to its glory days because one, a lot more live service games have come out since then, so a lot of the players just have gone elsewhere, like Helldivers, even some to possibly Suicide Squad with the Joker coming out. And the other thing too is that because I think a lot of these updates are reactionary, or they had to do it because this was around the same time that they announced like PvE is like fully officially dead. Like not like yeah, we're still working on it. No, it's not. It's like before, because before is like, hey, it's being delayed. There's no ETA. We don't know. And now they came back this week, like the early, like later this, like later in the week, and said, hey, we last left off with we have no ETA. We have no idea when it's going to come. To officially just come out saying it's never going to come. Like it's the support. It was officially confirmed. The support on the PVE is gone. I forget if it was officially addressed or just everyone's natural response was this in regards to a lot of the layoffs they recently had. So I think there's again a lot of good improvements. I think that's really good that they're dialing back some of the microtransactions.
The cameras are all free.
Yeah,
like it's a positive thing, right?
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if that was the plan all along, or if again this was a semi-timing reactionary thing to the fact that one of the biggest drivers to even release an Overwatch 2 versus just a massive new season like Fortnite or Apex. Like Apex and Fortnite have both had, especially Fortnite had massive game-changing updates, like no build mode, stuff like that. But there's no Fortnite 2. So one of the few things that really like even gave recognition or like a reason why an Overwatch 2 would even exist was this PvE thing. And now it's officially dead. It's not gonna like maybe come possibly whenever. It's never gonna come. So I wonder if like a lot of these plans like microtransactions or some of these other timings of the seasons were just coincidental, like this was always gonna be the plan, or like, hey fuck, we're about to tell our player base this whole mode that warranted a sequel at all is never going to exist.
I think the benefit.
I mean, that's go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think the one upper hand that the Overwatch has is that since it is a first person. I mean, I guess because can you switch between modes, or is it ultimately a first person shooter?
Yeah, it's a FPS.
I think that works to its benefit for a great deal because Call of Duty is Call of Duty, right? There's already those people, those nasty people that play that every year or whatnot.
Heathens, I got you. I read some lines. Fucking,
and for someone like myself, I would be the opportunity cost guy. If everyone eating steak, I want to have chicken. So like, I would want to go to Battlefield, right? So like I went to, when everyone was playing Call of Duty, I was playing Battlefield. We don't even have really a Battlefield anymore. And then for the Battlefield that's there for 2042, there's still a lot of people that have a stake that are like, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? And I understand why, right? So very similar for, the past emotions of Overwatch. I think the importance, the proof is in the pudding, I think, at the end of the day. If there's people that are playing it, and I'm sure there's a lot of new people, too, they're kind of bringing on as well. So you have veterans such as yourselves. They're like, okay, well, that changed. That's cool. But then if they can bring new players, they're like, hey, this is fun, and they had no recollection of the past stuff. I feel like that might be one of their big marketing ploys. Is like, hey, let's change this. Let's have people, get more people online, especially for those that are first time to it. There could be a huge market there for the game to grow and to be more fun. And, I think that is the one thing that is a huge positive thing of it being a first person shooter that people can go to that isn't a Call of Duty-esque thing. Because I just feel like first person shooters are in trouble right now. I mean, or at least there isn't anything coming out besides like, what ID would provide for like the Doom series and stuff like that. Obviously those are amazing. But like, as of right now, like there's really no FPS itch, that can really scratch or scratch that can, for that itch that I would have. So I think that is an interesting thing in itself, alongside everything from a live service component.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you still have those staples like CS:GO or whatever it's called now, and Call of Duty is a juggernaut in itself, right? And I do love Battlefield, but also, I mean, the reaction to the PvE was like it was a year ago, right? They just did these announcements now. So maybe it is reactionary, but does it matter if it's overall a net positive for the players, right? If the game is getting constant free updates. Like this is a free to play game. Like it's literally to a point that they don't have Activision anymore, so maybe they can make the changes they wanted to make all along, right? With Bobby Kotick gone from the system, and now they have funding from Xbox, right? What they're going to pump into the game. It's a free to play game. Literally, it doesn't cost anybody to jump in today to try it, and then you get all the new characters, and the monetization is friendlier. The battle passes stick with you longer. I mean, but even if I play Helldivers 2, finishing a Overwatch battle pass is the easiest battle pass in the entire genre, in the entire gaming industry. That does not take a long time. It actually kind of respects your time, and I grind through a lot of battle passes. I don't know. Like, what is it? Is Overwatch just bad? Or just people disappointed about the decisions they made? Like, if they're correcting past mistakes, and they show goodwill, will that help the game, or just people don't like the game anymore? What is it?
I think it's a mix that for a lot of people like me that were burned from the game, like we're in no big hurry to jump back on it because those itches are getting scratched elsewhere. Like how many games have come out since Overwatch's 2 initial release date?
It's only been a year.
Huh?
It's only been a year.
A lot's come out.
I mean, it's still to test his point. People can go somewhere else, even though if it's been a year.
Yeah.
I mean? Oh yeah. Like like how again, whether it's RPGs, like best-selling RPG last year, it was the best-selling game of last year, Hogwarts Legacy and other things. But I think because for a lot of people like me, it's like we've got burnt from the game, and I know I'm in no hurry to download like a 60+ gigabyte game. It's like I'm in no rush to just
like
I'm just in no rush to like just re-download that game and get back into it because a lot of games since then are scratching that itch. If I want more of a gritty online live service game, it's like Remnant 2, and then now I got Helldivers, which sucks because for me Overwatch 1 was my go-to itch scratcher. Like Overwatch 1 was the go-to. And then just I don't know something about it. Just a lot of the core. I mean, I might be. I still might be in the niche for this. That's fine. I understand. I don't usually speak for the masses. I speak for like me. But again, a lot of the core elements that warranted a sequel to all, I didn't like. I didn't like them practically getting rid of wall tanks. I didn't like them making it 5v5 instead of 6v6. And even further, they could have done what they did in the first game. Because Overwatch 1 vanilla was random, pick whatever you want to pick. You can have like multiple Genjis versus multiple Genjis, and then eventually Overwatch is like, no, it has to be class-based. You have to have 2 tanks, you have to have 2 damage, you have to have 2 this. But then they kept that mode. They kept that vanilla mode where you could just, go back to pick whatever. So when they made changes like this, they said, no, you can't do what we did before. We're like, hey, we understand when you made changes before, but you can still play that mode if you want. And then they said, hey, we're making these changes, but no, you can't play the mode. You can't play the mode if you want to, even though we've done that before. So I don't know, it just wasn't fun for me. I installed it and I really haven't looked back. I've done that with a lot of games, like Halo, which is weird because when you're saying how, which is a good thing, God, to hear it, the Overwatch 2 has the easiest battle pass, quickest battle pass of all the games I've battle pass, and I forgot. Oh yeah, Halo's in the category that has a battle pass. That's something that we've all known for Halo since our childhood, having battle passes. So that was just something that was weird. I'm like, oh yeah, Halo's in the battle pass category now.
You got to get with the times.
The times sucked. Battlefield 2042 was like, and that's the thing too with Overwatch.
Like Halo, it's like, do you want games like continue to be serviced or never updated again? It's like it's a trade off when it comes to it. But like to your point, right? I personally think 5v5 is better for Overwatch. I mean, especially playing as a tank player. I remember 6v6, and that is not a lot of fun, especially when it came to the queue times. But I don't want to debate whether or not 6v6 or 5v5 is better. We could go into a long time. But I do want to tell you,
and the mode used to exist for that reason.
I do want to tell you that something I forgot to be mentioning. They've been doing these hack quick plays, right? So one of the hack quick plays is they speed up the payload caught, which 50% faster. Gameplay, faster respawns, and the recent hack stuff is they took off Hewitt limiters, so you can have double honors and double mercies and double 76. So they've playing with the mechanics of the game again to see what they can update, and they're taking the feedback and they're going to implement the changes into the future. So this kind of goes back to even to somebody like you who have like the no limiters game mode that you like. They're bringing it back. I think this is like really like a first step that it's like we might have to keep our eyes on it. They made me.
I don't give people praise for taking something away and giving it back. Like, oh, they brought it back. Well, they brought it back because they took it away. I'm sorry. If you give me a cookie, take away the cookie, and you give me back the cookie, I'm not going to applaud you for giving me back the cookie.
Well, nobody's saying to give you praise. I'm just saying like we could hold off of celebrating, like the proof is in the pudding. But if they are making the changes that the community likes, the things that you even liked in the game, like okay, that's a good thing overall, right? What's the negative though? Like,
I think we have to wait and see if how authentic this is, right? Because we all know when it comes to Blizzard, there's a lot of bait and switch strategies that they've done in the past for a lot of their live service games. Obviously, we talked about Diablo 4, how some characters seemed pretty great during the demo and they completely changed. So we know Blizzard's known for that, along for a lot of other companies. But just as far as on the topic basis, that changing various notions within the game for the component of live service or profitability or whatever their reasoning is, that it is a thing. Now, I would be impressed with them see how sustainable this would be if they continue to make these changes or listen to more feedback that the community has. Because, if I see, maybe even like 2 years of where it's like, say it's even better than it was and there's more things or whatnot, then maybe I'd be a little more impressed. And it being and then knowing that, hey, okay, this is just bullshit. This isn't just a bait and switch as far as like, hey, let's see how many people we can get on our servers and then fuck them and raise the prices of shit. You know what I mean? Or just have little mechanics that, make things more expensive so they can profit. Obviously, live service has to come from a profit in some way, shape, or form. But I think obviously there is pressure points that can piss off the gamer. And I think because there's so many, that's the dangerous thing too. There's so many live service games. Where do I want to put my feet in, to spend money in the future, to potentially spend money if it's not something that you have to spend money outright. So I think we'll just have to see, what happens.
And that's why I brought it up now, right? Because these are changes that have happened, right? Well, some of them are coming next season. It's not like, hey, we're going to get to it 6 to 8 months now. It's something that's been brought into it. And then like, when is the game good again, right? If they reverted back on the changes that made everybody mad and they're taking further steps to make the game better for a free game, right? Well, you're not obligated to spend any money, right? And then I don't necessarily see the harm in that scenario, right? Like, this is something that anybody can pick up, play a season, not have to drop a dime in, and have a good time, right? I mean, I think it's worth. I mean, we'll see in the long run, but I think it's worth the discussion, like something to keep our eye on, because this is the game of the year in 2016. It won game of the year. It's been going on for 8 years. Not many live service games have gone on that long. Right?
No, this has gone for 1 year. You said this game came out a year ago, so you can't really look at the first one again. I still say Overwatch 2 should
Overwatch, the entire people have been playing
as a franchise. It's been 8 years.
Going for 8 years, right?
As a franchise, yes.
Right. So it's been going on for a long time. It's the same game. Like, there's not content from Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 that's missing from Overwatch 1, right? Like, it's all still there. So it's been going on. I think it's something to keep an eye on in the industry.
A lot of these updates, are positive. It's not like a negative for me. It's just that for me, it's a lot of neutrals. But again, for me, a neutral in this day and age with all the games to play now is like, is it enough to get a lot of people back in the game? It might be a scene uptick. But what I'm curious for
is, it doesn't cost money. It doesn't cost you a dime.
It costs me. It costs me.
It costs me my time. God damn it!
Exactly. I mean, like, if you want to play other games, go ahead by play other games. But it's zero investment into
No, I have to uninstall games
news,
to fit this game. I have to uninstall games to fit this game because how small hard drives are now. How
you have
big,
to buy an SSD drive that's big enough to keep all games. That's what.
I think when you have 4 or 5 live service games though that are also don't cost, then there's a much more competitive market than there was, I would say, back in 2016, arguably, as far as for the number of live service
1 year
games
ago,
coming out.
according to Arthur, just
according to you, because I don't remember when this
still proves my point.
Here's the thing we can agree. Here's the thing we can agree on. I think all gamers have
Go ahead.
Like Drell said, I think we can all agree. Gamers have like a rolling carousel, 4 or 5 games we hop on. And if one game gets dropped from the carousel and gets replaced, it takes a lot to get that to get it back on, because that means something else doesn't get taken off. But there's a lot of games for us to enjoy now. Look, like again, Lethal Company, Baldur's Gate, Helldivers, Hogwarts. Like I say, like it was last year. So like I say,
you guys haven't bought Baldur's Gate. None of you guys. Who's bought Baldur's Gate?
I would bought Baldur's Gate, but again, this is a game
what does that mean?
Yeah,
I gotta buy every fucking game to talk about it. You already made me spend 25 minutes.
It's like this a rotating game, right? This Helldivers,
the majority of people. Well, let's be fair. Joel and I are definitely not the majority of people. Like amongst 3 of us, Joel plays the game the least. I play the second, and then you and I in a given week are at the top of how many hours per week we're gaming. And so with that. So even with the limited hours gaming we do, there's only so many games in the carousel we can fit. And if like Overwatch just has enough on that cons list to make me not download it, I'm not going to download it. And again,
what is the con?
Huh?
What is the con? They literally are reverting all the problems.
Speaking of time,
that's what I'm telling you.
We're already spending 26 minutes talking about a fucking game that they're trying to make better. Can we talk about something else?
I will add one last thing. I will add one positive.
Have made better. That's the point, and it's free.
And we have to wait because it just happened. You made points.
It's a good story, right? I think it's a good story because you guys talk about live service games, not listening to the community, not giving feedback and giving what the community wants. I'm like, hey. They're doing it. They have done it, and they're actually going to implement more changes in 30 days.
They're starting to do it.
They're starting to do something after going back on one of the biggest updates to that game.
I stopped robbing. Right, but we have to wait. Right, as gamers, we have to wait. We don't just say, "Hey, everybody, come on!" They made the changes. Like it's great, but we have to wait. That's the extent of the
They gave us this capture. They give us, hey guys, they give you a cup of ketchup, even though they took away your sandwich. That was this whole fucking mode that they promoted the whole fucking game on. Yay, guys, we got ketchup. Where's the sandwich? Who cares? We got ketchup and mustard, guys. But the one thing I will say,
they didn't do anything like that.
they don't PvE. That's the whole reason I was expecting. The whole reason, but I'm gonna do it. Short version, I will spend a
dime in Overwatch 2. It didn't cost you anything.
I'm not counting money. Actually, I don't count as paying games for Game Pass. So I don't still I spent this many games. So money, a free game isn't a plus for me when I have Game Pass. So I will add with this: a possible positive for Blizzard, a possible positive for Blizzard that I will see in years to come, not now, not next quarter, not Q1 of next year. I'm going to see what Blizzard can actually fucking do when they're not getting fisted like a goddamn hand puppet from Tencent in the Chinese mobile market that Blizzard has been catering to for fucking years. So now that Tencent isn't fucking fisting them every day because China locked that shit down and moved billions of dollars from that market with fucking the passing of one law. I'm curious to see what Blizzard plans to do now that they can't fucking suck off the tit of Tencent in the Chinese market that they were doing for years.
And I'm telling you what they're doing.
Which is
we have
for a game we don't care.
I'm going to move aside because it's almost 30 minutes of Overwatch.
Is Overwatch better than the World of Warcraft Battle Royale? Because that's what that's another thing that Blizzard's focusing on.
I haven't played World of Warcraft Battle Royale. I haven't played.
I don't know. So again, that's what I'm saying, because of shit like that. The fucking grip of Tencent's still there, so I'm gonna give it a couple of years until we see what Blizzard, what a Tencent free Blizzard looks like, because we haven't seen it in a long fucking time.
So I think to close this, I think it is positive that the changes in general are happening. Church, you'll have to be our informant as far as how well it does. Do a 3, 6, 9 month update as far as how everything is, or did they just make the adjustments as live service companies do or whatnot? So we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah, and for people that want to try the game, download it. It's free. And if you don't like it, it does. You know, the barrier of entry is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a fun time. It's Overwatch. If you liked Overwatch, it's still Overwatch. So
I will say that as far as for the when it comes to the live service yuckies, you know,
I'm so scared to do a Suicide Squad update. Like when season 1 comes,
we don't care about Suicide Squad. We
when
can skip
WB
that.
is right by the hand. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I'm sorry.
Guess what, guys? The writing's actually kind of good now. Whoa!
No, I was
crazy.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, my Helldivers 2, I'm waiting on the fixes to be made because for PC, not all PC members, but some of them are having issues with crossplay. And then playing with
like Suicide Squad. Oh, who would have thought?
Yeah, there are some server issues. Issues.
Yeah, it had the updates of being a good game, or a company known to make first great
they stay in their lane.
Single player games are designed to mix in a mobile game. Don't make me go back into that, Church.
We don't got enough time today.
We don't.
For another episode.
We don't. It's already a half hour of this bullshit.
But yes, but real quick, I will add to Jarrell. Yeah, there are some glitches right now, so some PC people can't cross play. An ongoing glitch that a lot of people have, including myself, is every time you load the game, it defaults to that default vanilla level 1 loadout. So if you don't change your guns, you'll drop in every map with the original Liberator, the original pistol, and then the default grenade. So if I don't catch that, I'm like, oh fuck, where's my, where's the new arc shotgun I got, or where's this stun grenade I got? Yeah, their servers are kind of butt right now. I think because they're so busy from all the hundreds of thousands of people that jumped on from the last update where they had flying bugs called the Shriekers. Holy shit! Spoiler: the Shriekers suck. Bring a Gatling sentry or a regular sentry with you for anti-air. I'm not like they will wreck your shit, dude. But yeah, so. Yeah, Helldiver servers are kind of buggy and inconsistent right now. I tried to stream the other day, and it just cut off because we got DC'd for the game for like the 4 times, something like that.
Okay, so hopefully they fix that shit soon. They've been consistent on at least what they know about and what they're planning to fix. So they've been really consistent and organized on that. So I appreciate. So we'll see. I'll give them time of day.
Summertime, like there'll be no problems with the game. It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
I wanted to give a really quick a fantasy card update. Just because a couple of games came out. And just to give the overall rank so far. So still leading the pack, if you will. Art the Fart, publisher of Dick Red Game Pass, has actual points of 43.59, leading it in first. Myself, Iroquois Pliskin, or African Black Soap for the publisher, is at 42.4 for second, and Church in third at the moment. I'll name this later. At 16.44, and that is because a couple games came out just recently. One of them, obviously, Final Fantasy Rebirth came out for Arthur, but Dragon's Dogma released, and it's at an average of 89 on Open Critics, so 19 points for me. Rise of Ronin at a disappointing 76. All around for Open Critic, getting 6
got 6 points for that shit? Damn!
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's in the positive because fuck.
Hey, it's doing better than Redfall.
yeah, it is. And then Unicorn Overlord came out 87 with 17 points. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Dragon's Dogma because it seems like
long live the master race.
Yeah, like how did they get such a high score with so many bad bugs in that game, bro?
Well, it seems like
from no steady frame rate. Like Jesus, I mean, Suicide Squad at least runs out of 60. My God,
all right.
Is there a bias in media?
a 60 frames a second for a piece of shit game.
Okay. Man, this turret sandwich looks great, guys.
13 for Epis for like game of the year, guys. This is amazing.
So for So for and to contextualize this, for consoles for PS5, Series X, there doesn't seem to be the main bugs on those consoles, at least from what I've been reading. Allegedly, it's been doing well and everything, and that's where it kind of like the great reviews have been coming in. But for PC, completely different story. Mad bugs. It's an average of
the game.
That
Can't get past the character creation. Streamers were like for like 40. It took them like 40 minutes to like get into the game, just like try to create a character every single time. There's like even the quote unquote troubleshoots aren't working. So by the way, Drell, if you get this game on PC, turn off ray tracing and like way lower that frame rate cap, because apparently those are supposed to troubleshoots about that. If you have ray tracing, Dragon's Dogma will not fucking work right now.
You gotta have a 4090, bro. Like if you don't got that, why are you even trying to play at this point?
Shit, I don't even know if that would get the job done. There's a lot of shit going on, and then also too the microtransactions. I think just because the existence of the microtransactions in the game, with the game not working very well, the community just fucking freaked out. So they responded, apologizing, and then also making some of the DLC that you had to pay for free to get in the game. Not all of it, but I think a portion of it as they work on those issues. Because I know from Digital Foundry, they're saying it's weird that there's no cap at all when it came to like the frame rates, and they were kind of talking about that. And it seems like, I don't know if that's the main reasoning.
Cap meaning minimum, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, because
so it could dip. There's no locking of like, it can lock to 30. You can't go under 30 frames.
Yeah, that's what you mean. Cap is usually max, right? So
yeah, the vernacular.
Go down to zero.
The vernacular for PC consoles is backwards for some reason. So instead of having think of minimum. So it's like instead of having a frame rate minimum, because there is no frame rate minimum, it can just fucking tank. Yeah. But no, you're right. Again, when you hear a cap, you're like, oh, there's a limit of 300 frames per second. No, it means we can't stop it from going as low as 5.
Yeah, so his limit, bro, is the better term there. But so shit, I was gonna buy that, but I'll have to wait because that's not gonna work for me.
Gotta wait till you can create a character,
right? Yeah, to do something in the fucking game. And then Rise of Ronin, I feel like we all knew that game was gonna be like whatever, right? Because I remember from the initial
above average B, like a solid B at best.
Yeah,
like maybe a B plus if it went out of the park, but it was like looking at like here's a good game. It's like maybe I don't think not game of the year contender, not horrible, but like. Safe bet.
Because we saw it at the PlayStation conference, and all of us weren't like, whoa, like we're just like, okay, well that seemed kind of cool, but like, and then you were like, well, how does the gameplay even work when it comes to that? And then the colors looked really dry, and then like, and I think you were saying, Church, you're like, well, we got, we already have what's the game that everyone loves?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, we already have Ghost of Tsushima, so how is it even going to compare that if so? And a lot of people.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to end and say, like, a lot of people were saying, like, because the game is exclusive to PlayStation, this is the only reason why people care about it in the fucking first place. They're saying, like, if it was available for everything, that, like, nobody would really bat an eye. So. Yeah,
I think it's one of those. I mean, I'll probably pick it up in a little bit, like, later this year if I have some time. Because I like Ninja Theory, right? I'm getting that confused. Hellblade is Ninja Theory, right? Who's the maker of this game?
I'll update you. I'll get back on that.
It's the same people that do what's the name? Okay. But I do like the studio. It just had an identity crisis. It's like, what are you going to do that's different from Ghost of Tsushima and like Sekiro in terms of this, samurai feudal lord period that you have going on? It seemed like it's struggling a little bit. I think it's the same people that do Neo, if I'm not mistaken, or
Team Ninja.
Yeah. So I'm gonna support Team Ninja because I do like the games they have, and I feel like they compete a lot directly with From Software, and I want to encourage that. Like maybe they'll find like this little niche. But yeah, I didn't expect big numbers from them. It's not a mainstream type of game. This is like the combat's gonna be tough. It's a hardcore kind of fighter. So
yeah, definitely.
One thing I will add to the microtransaction that's crazy for me. It's crazy to think that there's
this game has microtransactions,
dude, and it's like RPG shit. Like core element to change your character, to rechange your character's appearance is locked behind a $2 microtransaction. I know that's not much, but that's still weird.
Yeah.
That's still weird.
Is this one of Sony's live service games?
Capcom's.
Okay, Capcom.
It's Capcom.
No Capcom.
Damn,
And so Dragon. So and by
is
the way,
that the
this
same
is
with Dragon's Dogma too?
Oh,
So
you're talking
I'll
about
just
Dragon's
say
Dogma. You're talking about Dragon's Dogma. We thought you were
Okay,
talking
so
about Rise
I'm
of
back to
Ronin.
Dragon's Dogma.
that was on my my bad. I was googling shit. Dragon's Dogma on my phone. So sorry. So Dragon's. So
$2
I'll
is
say
pretty cheap.
back to Dragon's Dogma. I don't like that something that's normally a core element for most RPGs is locked behind a microtransaction. Now, yeah, is $2 a lot? No, but that's still something that's just default a part of games. Fucking in like again, a game that was previously known for like microtransactions via like its shark cards. That's a GTA barbershop. So do you have to like pay real money to go to a GTA barbershop? I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay real money for a $1 Cluckenbell thing. but again, like coming off of dipping into Cyberpunk again and other RPGs, it's just weird that it's locked in a $2 paywall. Now you can say, do all RPGs have the mechanic? No, but those that do, it's just a part of an RPG. It's like either can you readjust how you look your character's face? No. If you can, go to this person over here. But I've never heard of an RPG going, hey, you can do that, but pay us. And I know Capcom usually has like most games, like I won't say microtransaction, but it's like add-ons like the shop. Like Capcom has a really cool like aesthetic store, but doesn't add to like you don't get there's no freemium like in Monster Hunter. They have a lot of cool skins, a lot of cool outfits for you and your cool cat, but it's weird that there's something to me as like something that I who's an RPG guy, it's still gross and icky, and it makes me weird that like again a potential core RPG element is behind a paywall at all, even if it is quote unquote cheap.
Well, it's only. Is it core? I mean, because it's free to do in the beginning, right? Like, are you saying you have to pay $2 at the beginning, or you locked in, right?
Yeah, no. So you create your character, and you want to go back and kind of change your character's face, like a new hairstyle. $2.
Okay, maybe I'll play more Japanese RPGs, which that's like not a feature. So like, but in the Western RPGs, like
cyberpunk things like cyberpunk things like that. So and that's the thing, and that's the thing too. Because here's the thing: it's not entirely a Western Eastern thing. Because that's the thing. Not all Western RPGs let you recreate how your character looks as a character. True. But those that do have it. But this is a new option now, where it's like either you have it, you don't. Now in the middle, we have it, but you have to pay for it. And that's like the new option in this RPG category that I don't like.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing to toy with. I think we can all say, when it comes to cosmetics and microtransactions, like that's fine. Like if you want to customize your cat or your shoes or whatever in the game, like if you want to pay the money, whatever, you know what I mean? As long as it's not like shoving it in your face every 15 minutes when you play the game. But typically as a gamer, no one really cares about cosmetic microtransactions. But when it comes to functions and there are just certain elements where it's like, well, that used to be free, now it's not anymore. It's like, okay, like what? It's like everything turning into a vending machine at your house. It's like, wait, they used to be free. Why is that?
It's like what I don't want is a trend of other core RPG elements to be locked behind this. Like the immediate thing I thought of is like, what are we like 1 or 2 years away from respecing behind being a fucking paywall?
And we're talking, and to be specific, we're talking about Dragon's Dogma, not Rise of Ronin, right?
Correct. Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma, which has an amazing character creation. Capcom's always had a great character creation. This one's on with it again. People are already making like Alana Pierce, fucking Joe Biden, fucking Adam Sandler. You can go crazy with the character creation. But again, just so like again, as a non-cooperative, single player, it is, whether it's online or not, it is a single player RPG that has a single player RPG, quote unquote, core mechanic, or if not core, standard mechanic behind a paywall. And like I said, that's, I'm just like, oh man, are we like 1 or 2 years away from like respecing being behind fucking paywalls?
We'll see. I mean, it's never say
never. It all depends if people buy single player games. I don't think enough people are buying them. At least, I mean, you guys know my spill on this. Like they minus
the best selling game of last year.
Yeah, they picked the cream of the
minus
crop.
The best selling game of last year. You are correct.
Sorry. Yeah, they buy the cream of the crop, and the rest just is just trash. So they're probably looking new ways to monetization. I don't like this method, so I hope it just dies. It doesn't work for Dragon's Dogmas 2. It just let people recreate their character.
Yeah, I hope this doesn't give Ubisoft or Activision ideas because, god damn it, Ubisoft already has too many microtransactions in their RPGs. The shortcut microtransactions, which I don't like.
I mean, dude, I mean, I played Odyssey and Valhalla. It's not an issue for those fast track things. I mean, I don't know how you play RPGs. I do side quests, but there's no wall where I felt like I was underpowered to get to the next thing.
It's not. Again, it's not a wall. Like that's what they're just shortcuts. Like it's not a wall. It's, you're not getting. Again, that's why you're not getting over a wall but you're getting from A to B faster with it. It's to each their own. They don't have to, but again, it's don't like the fact it's there. And now it's what we're talking about a couple years ago, and now. Yeah. You want to change your character's face like you can in Cyberpunk? Hey, you want to go Ripper Doc? Pull out your credit card in real life. Oh, that's a fucking corpo move.
I mean, it's funny because for Ubisoft has a whole other issue, right? Like when it comes to microtransactions on to fast tracking, I technically don't have a problem with that. But if the game is shit, like if the game sucks, like that, I have a problem with that. And Ubisoft has a lot of shit games, and we're Splinter Cell, so they have a whole other issue.
What are those shit games besides Skulls and Bones? What has been?
I mean, what else can you think of within the last 5 years that's been notable?
One of their four skippable Tom Clancy games. Like, how many Tom Clancy games have they made in the past 6 years? Like, I'm already lost fucking track.
There was only one bad Tom Clancy game.
Was that the best?
Pandora's Tomorrow was great.
The one that had the Punisher guy.
Double Agent was the worst one.
The one that had the Punisher guy. Cell?
Conviction. Oh,
you guys are talking about that Conviction. That was a while ago. I'm talking about the last couple of years. I feel like honestly, there's been a Tom Clancy game every year for the past.
I thought you said Splinter Cell. My bad.
No, Tom Clancy.
You're talking about. Okay, so it was Tom Clancy's Recon game, and then I think the last one was Breakthrough, which is the one you're talking about for Punisher. But
there was the Punisher guy, then Badlands 1 and 2, and then there was that PvE. Remember that they made a PvP with like paintball.
Yeah.
No, they made Extraction, but then there was another one. You remember that, Jarrell?
Which isn't out yet. They still pushed it back.
Yeah, they released it.
Oh, it hasn't been out yet.
They have the Rainbow Six, which was good. The Assassin's Creed games have been solid. Rayman Legends, Rayman, Mario Rabbids have been pretty fire too as well.
Canceled Phoenix Rising 2.
Phoenix Rising was good, right? That's a good game. I mean, everybody's canceled.
They didn't give us a sequel.
I know, but it was good. It was a good game. They have, and even Avatar was received pretty well. I mean, I want Ubisoft to succeed, right? I mean, I think you guys do too, right? Because they are the juggernauts in the industry. No, hold on. They're the juggernauts in the industry for single player games, right? Like they make the consistent yearly games that sell, and if they start to fail, there's no big guy to point to make, hey, this is a successful game that can do it. Like you need them to succeed, in good quality games. But I think they're kind of.
Yeah, you're right. They definitely didn't make they definitely didn't make Skull and Bones. Yep, Ubisoft definitely wasn't behind that.
Okay, but they made other hits too. Like Odyssey was amazing, right?
Ubisoft pioneering the quadruple A.
Odyssey is a classic.
Rainbow Six Siege, full art has been phenomenal.
They
are going to look so sick.
They pushed back Assassin's Creed Jade, and then we don't know where was it Red Sun when that's coming out?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But Skulls and Bones, nobody's defending that one. We don't. It's quadruple game.
Except Church.
I haven't played the game.
I plan to.
I found Sea of Thieves and I never looked back. I was like, okay, is it gonna? It doesn't look better than Sea of Thieves, so I'm good.
I will say, if Ubisoft doesn't make necessarily bad games,
it's on PlayStation. Go buy it now.
They make skippable games. Like again, that one where I felt like there was a Tom Clancy game every year for a bit. A lot of those games were skippable. A lot of people skipped Extraction. A lot of people skipped the Punisher game. A lot of people skipped that open world, the other open world game, the sequel. I think it was Badlands or Wildlands 2.
Wildlands was a good game. I don't know what you're talking about.
The one,
yeah, the prequel to Breakthrough. The first one was good. Yeah. But the second one was bad. Yeah.
They had a string where it was
Division.
every year.
But those are 7 years old. Those are old games. No, that's what I'm saying. These are old games.
I listed recent games, right? So the Mario Rabbids game that came out a couple years ago too, right? Valhalla was 2021, right?
Oh, it was decent.
Won an Emmy.
From what I heard.
Won an Emmy 2 years later.
Best soundtrack out of anything else.
Right,
Yeah.
but Ubisoft, we have been because of the news, right? They've been having putting out games. They skipped a year for Assassin's Creed. I mean, I think Mirage just came out this year, which was kind of eh. We all knew that was gonna be eh, right? They try to make a full game off of DLC from Valhalla, off a stealth system, which people all already knew that stealth in Valhalla was not a good aspect in that game whatsoever. So that was gonna be trash. So
Yeah, I think Ubisoft needs to not make games like every year like Call of Duty does because it suffers.
I would for me,
I don't
like
agree with that.
I think my biggest peeve is I just want a new Splinter Cell for one.
Me, you both.
And then
really a meta guild, but anyways, I digress.
well, no, I don't want Ubisoft to do it. Jesus Christ! Like a butt flex Snake.
You want extra ration, Snake? $5.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. $5. Get these super credits. Anywho's, but one thing I want to talk about, guys. Obviously, this is one of the big news things that happened earlier this week. PlayStation 5 Pro specs were leaked, and they've known to be official, or they're claiming to be official. So Digital Foundry even talked about it. Obviously, we're not going to go into all of the specifics that Digital Foundry does, because that's why you should follow Digital Foundry. But basically, at the end of the day, the general summarization, if I were to summarize it, it seems like the PS5 Pro has a CPU that's not as powerful as the original PlayStation 5, but the GPU is more powerful. And the main question is it going to matter when we look at it and when we compare the two visually? So that's kind of been the biggest thing. It seemed like it didn't really turn any heads. And then obviously it seems like the terms of like, oh, it has this many teraflops, it like kind of like doesn't fucking matter when you're looking at the goddamn thing. But any thoughts as far as the PS5 Pro? They're saying that it's going to be coming out allegedly at the end of the year. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, I think Arthur, you're muted.
Oh, I was gonna say it can't hold a candle to the Switch OLED. That's all I gotta say.
The OLED is actually a pretty good system, not gonna lie, bro. If you didn't have a Switch, it's pretty solid.
Steam Deck OLED is supposed to be hot too. But
I mean, yeah,
goddamn,
dude, I'm like this close to buying a Steam OLED, bro. I was like, but my wife was like,
do it.
It's like, why do you need it? I was like, I don't. But like, if I
fuck
had
all these bullshit games, church, and buy goddamn Steam Deck.
bro, I'm kidding.
We don't have to
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo. So I'm always put money aside for the PS5 Pro, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll buy it yet because I really have to see it in play. Like the only reason I would want to get it is because for PlayStation Studio games, I know it's going to run the best. It's probably going to have the most features, and the adjustments are like really. I have to see. I mean, I think everybody develops for PlayStation in general in the industry. So like the games run the best on PlayStation consoles hardware as opposed to Xbox, even though Xbox is technically more powerful. And if they took more time to like optimize it, I think it could beat PS5, but that's not what's happening. I'm more curious about the PlayStation version of DLSS. Was that it? Some upscaling software they're going to have in the system that's going to make the games better.
Yes, there's machine learning in the PS5 Pro, which is interesting. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
how's that going to work?
And that's interesting to see because like if it can take the games that already have performance mode in them, but a low resolution like that 1080 between 1440 and just make it a solid 1440 or even 4K at the 60, then I'm happy. That's really what I'm looking for. So I'll wait for it to come out. I'm not necessarily excited for it. I want to see how much it's going to cost me. I'll sell my old PlayStation for it, and then to just pick it up. But other than that, it just I wish it was like a bigger leap if we're going to do it. If we're going to do it, go balls deep, man. Let's not pussyfoot. I'm like what put something out there.
Right.
Like try to own the space a little bit. Like we'll make it a pro version.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just
You're
go ahead.
I would say you're exactly right. Like when it comes to like, honestly, minus like the streamers and influencers for the majority of like customers, if there's not going to be like a day one exclusive to validate a console upgrade, I mean, a lot of people, I think the majority of people are just going to wait. I mean, minus like let's say a couple remasters, there might be a director's cut, the sequel again to Death Stranding 1. We don't know, but plus, you know me, I'm always a guy of like day one anything. Wait for them patches to come out. But as a guy that's been a PS5 owner for a few weeks now, I'm lost track. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month most. I don't know. Less than a month.
When you're having fun.
Playing the Helldivers 2 machine.
Dude, yeah, like yeah,
Helldivers Machine Pro.
right.
Time flies when you have Helldivers 2 machine, dude. If you put a gun in my hand and say, "Hey Arthur," when you press the PS button and there's a menu at the bottom, I can only name like 4 of those fucking buttons, like friends, home, settings, and off.
Dude. Like he's like he don't recognize icons. Like I don't know, man.
All I see is freedom.
Is Egyptian? I don't know.
Is that a microphone? I don't know.
All I see is democracy. Don't pull the trigger.
Is that a microphone? Probably. Does it affect my Helldivers gameplay? So I'll fucking press it. But yeah, like there's definitely not gonna be like any like jump at the bit. Like put this way, Drell, knowing what we know about, and this is very specific, but knowing what we know about Aspire, they can say like, hey guys, we're back on it. Knights of the Republic 2 remake coming out, day one console exclusive for the PS5 Pro only. I'm still gonna be like, nah, I see how you guys handle your fucking remakes. I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah. I mean, thank God they're not holding the project anymore. But
dude, if they can handle those fucking games made from a PS2, God help them for the new game. But I don't know. I think like Drill says, software moves hardware. I think the majority of people that are Sony customers and are potential new Sony customers might go to it again once we start getting more and more exclusive. Whether it was the shortage or the Series S, a lot of people are linking the Series S to what's held up the quote unquote previous gen developing situation. I think it'll be a while. I think it's be a while till we see any major announcements from Sony to be like, oh shit, these games are coming out for the PS5 Pro, or how are their verbiages enhanced for the PS5 Pro. I think we're still going to be a while out till that.
I'm also curious to see how Xbox responds to this, because we saw that Xbox. Yeah, the
FTC was like, "Hey, is this new
the
console?"
biggest fucking leak in gaming history?" Like, arguably, it was like, "God damn, I know what's going on 10 years from now." So I'm wondering.
Looks like an air purifier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks like
It did. It looks like a fucking air purifier.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I breathed better after looking at it. Trish, what are you gonna say?
No, yeah, I'm excited to see if Xbox comes out something. Too. I mean, I think the Pro version should just be like Xbox Series XL. Just just keep it moving.
Yo, that'll give respect to us fat people so hard.
That's kind of a stunt for real.
I'm just saying, like, to have the dude, like, what, dude, is their next partner like Big and Tall? That's fucking.
Bro, like, just keep it going, man, and it's like beef that fucking up. You already have Game Pass games. You got games coming to PC. Give me a good PC spec Xbox machine. Like, yeah, it's an Xbox, but it's really a PC. Just give me that shit, right? And other than that, I think PlayStation would be fine. The system's going to sell itself. It might be the best place to play GTA 6, right? That's coming out next year around this time, probably. Indiana Jones might come to PlayStation later this year.
Right.
So, right.
Phil Spencer has to explain himself again. It's like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do?
I'm sure the next Call of Duty game is the best place to play is on PlayStation 5 Pro. Like, I think they're going to have some things to sell the system, and then after that, what's like Wolverine's coming out that's on from Insomniac and just Ghost of Tsushima. It's going to be fine, bro. It's going to but is it going to be worth it? I don't know. Like, I really have to see it. I mean, I'm still waiting for my shit to get 4K 60. Oh, no, 8K on both of these machines that I got going on. It said it on the box.
If you want 8K.
It says it on the box. It's got to be true.
Okay, well, actually, okay, never mind.
Sorry, that's funny.
I tripped
They
myself
lied.
up. They are peddlers of lies, and some of them in Xbox are peddlers of fucking snake oil and leather jackets.
So speaking of,
So that's when Sarah Bond was like, "Yo, Xbox is working on the next hardware. It's the most powerful Xbox." Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, why would we believe you? Like, okay, we'll see it when it comes out. I mean, sorry, Arthur, I interjected.
You're good.
I get
I
emotional
actually
when it comes to my ethos.
No, you're good. I actually tripped myself up because when you said 8K, that made me think like 8K quality, but no, it made me think of that Samsung TV with Game Pass built into it that costs 8K. Not that is 8K. That's why I was like 8K. I'm like, they already got that fucking TV. Oh no, that's how much it costs. Never mind.
I was gonna say too, this is another thing that kind of pissed me off as far as like what is going on with these consoles is that there was some type of a developer. He said good luck for the PS5 Pro to play 60 frames per second for GTA 6. He said it's not going to be able to lock 60 frames per second. What is going on with these consoles, man? Why can't we have fucking 60 frames per second? We're not asking for a lot. We're not asking for.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Please, because I don't understand.
No, I mean, I agree. I agreed. I was going to have a caveat because it's rock steady, right? And Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably the best looking video game I think I've ever seen in my life. And that's a hard 30 frames per second.
Absolutely. That's an incredibly beautiful game.
Yeah, on a PS4, and those 30 frames don't even bother me. So if they do the same thing with GTA 6, it may not be a problem, but god damn it, why can't we get 60? The box says it.
The box says it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it freaks me out, bro. I'm just like this is it was such a weird console generation already, being like 7 years and whatnot. And then they released, we've had these consoles for like 3 years, give or take, and we're still having trouble with 60 frames per second. Goddamn, trying to keep 30 if it's not Dragon's Dogma, and it's just like
with
now
the 89 fucking score. Sorry. I will say those backtrack a little bit. Church, I am on your side. This game should not be as rated high as it was. I'll just play devil's advocate for that. A game that a quote unquote a 30 play base can't get past the character creation. 89. I'm like, well, okay, that might be an asterisk, guys.
Oh, no, let the truth will set you free. Liberate democracy.
I feel like I've been doing like 2021 or 2022 again, where like all the PC versions were just complete dog shit again. Like Helldivers gave me hope, and I was like, yeah, I can play this game. Like, fuck yeah, And then I'm hearing all these other versions of games coming out that aren't on Game Pass, whatever. It's like, hey, you gotta wait a little bit. Grand Theft Auto, they didn't even mention the PC version. They said. To get a PS5, bitch, or get a Series X, bitch. Like PC, fuck PC. I can't buy it for a PC for Grand Theft Auto 6. So I'm like, god damn it. So.
I don't know. I'm mixed. I'm mixed with these frames only because I feel like I don't know, because I've really never noticed a frame rate crash. Again, like we go back to Redfall, which was one of the worst games of 2023. And again, as many of the hours, I forgot, because we streamed a lot of it. I forgot the significant amount of hours Church and I put into it. I remember literally like 5 seconds, like maybe 4 Mississippis where we noticed a frame rate drop and that was like it. And the core gameplay was noticed every other time, but like I said, only one time I noticed like a frame rate drop. So it's like I feel like for someone that doesn't pay attention to that enough, again, I'm the niche here by far. Again, that's like I feel like I only notice that when like the frame rates crash, like the game is already going to be quote unquote crashing, but not if it like is just default built to run at less than 60 frames a second, because again, the only game I think I can think of off the top of my head that was built to run at less than 60 frames a second was Redfall, and that was something I didn't notice at all. I've seen tons of who hasn't gameplay clips of Red Dead Redemption. So if Red Dead Redemption wasn't running at 60 frames a second, holy shit, you could have fooled the fuck out of me. I never knew that. So again, I think there's a difference between like games like Dragon's Dogma that the frame rate crashes versus games built from the ground up, like that to just run at that designated quote unquote limit, I think is different. I feel like a lot of people that react to it or make videos about it, I think for people like me, that's how I mix it up, because to a point, I think low frames means crashing. But then again, like Church was saying, one of the best looking games of all time, that wasn't built at 60 frames a second. So I think there is, again, it might be semantics, but I really do think there is a difference between a frame rate crash and games built to run at this frame that look fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I think you have a point, man, but Rocksteady is the fucking pinnacle in the industry, homie. It's a solid 30 frames per second. If it's stable, it's really good to play at. And even better when you go into Rocksteady, who has a stable frame rate, and they match the character animations to it. And that's the magic you get with it. But games are not optimized like that anymore, sadly. Whether it's, the development times, it's just not happening. So, like, I'm hoping the 60 can bring us to a better, like, a stable gameplay. I mean, it's about time, man. Then what? That's the difference of this generation was supposed to be the frames, right? It's the solid state drives and the frame rates. And now we're like going back to what 30 is acceptable. And it is. I mean, if it's a optimized game. But a lot of the times, unfortunately, none of them are. Like, there's very few rare cases. Unless you get a game like Helldivers, whose frame rate is wonky, but the gameplay is so much more powerful, right? Where you can get lost into it. And not a lot of games have gameplay that trumps everything, unfortunately.
Speaking of Trump, I want to get us hats that say make frames 60 frames again. Make games 60 frames again.
Right. Make games great. Make games great again.
that smile I said, that smile that put in my face like a minute, like 60 seconds ago into church talking, that's what popped in my head. Make games 60 frames again.
60 frames.
And this man just drops that trumps that. Sorry, Drill, I got to jump on that transition to this thought that just popped in my head. I want to get us those hats. make games great again.
Great game.
Sadly.
Huge
that can't be
resolution.
if that hat's not red, I'll probably wear that because I won't be mistaken for that.
We can rock that.
But me as an old man becoming an old man, I would absolutely wear a hat that says "Make game 60 frames." That's amazing.
Dude, I just love that church accidentally just ended that phrase on. Yeah, I can't trump that. Bam. Okay, I gotta open it up.
Like, yo, marketing play. Let's do it. I gotta get this merch going for Games for Life. Man. We gotta get that going.
Check out merch stuff. In the link below.
Freedom and democracy.
Here, what like the couple of merch days we put out so far is like Dick Ride Game Pass, I Heart Phil, make game 60, make game 60 frames again.
Is it Church? You were like, there's games and there's games on Game Pass. Or I forgot what your phrase was.
There's games on Game Pass.
Oh man! And then you're like, yeah, we gotta have these phrases, on these goddamn shirts. So
go fuck yourself. Sorry, that just brings it back. That's just a classic.
I think that one's taken, Arthur.
I don't care. I don't care. At the point, I made that my own in my tone, Drill. I still will never not forget of like me not paying attention to the Google Doc you sent, and we were like, today we're going to talk about Verizon. Man, fuck Verizon. Opening with that.
Oh man. Well, we're kind of at the end of the show. Did we want to talk? I realized that the Kotaku person who left.
Yeah, I was gonna have a good note.
It's not the same. It's not the same lady of the article that we read. It's a completely different lady. But the fact that these are two editors in chief, and they seem really weird, it kind of shows you like what type of people are hired at Kotaku these days.
Yeah, does Kotaku even like games? Like.
Supposedly, allegedly,
they're making a bunch of gears and tip like articles and stuff, and I guess that's the reason why the lady left. She's like, this goes against my morals and standards. I'm like, morals and standards, making
tips.
Yeah, like tip articles.
I was like, I want to write articles that just racially charged.
Right? Yeah, I want to talk about the economy. This is Kotaku. Like, make something, write something else.
GTA 6, the cop system is representative of the racism in the modern day.
GameSpot's got your back.
You said it, man.
This is too much, man. Sometimes you just want a game.
Yeah.
I still want everyone to save receipts of all the journalists and fucking websites and all the game media that were trying to blacklist and ban people from playing Hogwarts. They're about to fucking shit out so many articles after GTA 6 launches. I want to save those fucking receipts. They're like, anyone that plays Hogwarts Legacy should get banned. Hey guys, here's your tips how to kill hookers in GTA 6.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Look at you, Kotaku. Jackasses.
Exactly. Oh my god. All right, we're nearing the end of the show here. Anything else we can argue about that we've already argued about before, or is that about it?
Ending on the note, calling Kotaku jackass is good enough for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just say that at the end of season 1 of Suicide Squad, I'll come back for
Please
the review and see if it has any legs. I don't. Before, I guess maybe we can end the show here. I'll ask you guys off real quick about it, but that's it.
Okay. No,
The
we're not
next
gonna buy
episode.
it.
Of
Rest in peace. Carry on, man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again for watching in or listening to the Game Fly podcast. Of course, each and every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, discussing that gaming shit, discussing all things games. Of course, I always like to thank my co-hosts Arthur and Chich.
That's me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next time.
Adios.